But just, we came off having a retreat last month. We're excited to hear about that. It's the holiday season, it's the COVID season, it's all of that. But hey, we're still here, and right now our services and our help is needed much in the city of Raleigh. So if we could briefly, like little 30-minute snips, 30-second snips. Let's go around and introduce ourselves. I'll start myself. I'm Elliott Palmer. I'm chairperson of the commission. I'm a certified peer support specialist and recovery coach, trainer. So I've been very, very busy the last couple of months. A lot of these different programs here in our area. Trying to get in trainings and things before the end of the year. So that's why I've been kind of out of commission. I've been working every day for the last 27 days, and then include Saturday and Sundays. But let's go around the room and introduce ourselves.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nick Slovak. I am the executive director of Green Hill Recovery, which is a substance use disorder treatment program. We have both transitional living and community outpatient services for young adult men. I've been working in the substance use disorder field for about 10 years in several different capacities, and I am just in my first month or two on the commission, but excited to be here.
Hi, I'm Ryan Johnston. I am the vice chair and also on the communications committee. And I, in my other life, am a nurse practitioner who practices in family practice here in Raleigh.
Hi, I'm Ricardo Young. I'm on the education committee. I am, in my other life, a representative with the Social Security Administration out of the Smithfield office. Second year on the commission, and that's it.
My name is Lynn Williams, and I am on the outreach committee and newly elected treasurer. And in my other life, I am a certified peer support, a RAP facilitator, a recovery coach trainer, and I work for the Alcohol Drug Council of North Carolina.
I'm Holly Watkins. I'm one of the newer members of the commission. I serve on the communications committee, and my day job, I work for the ARC of North Carolina, which serves individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. I am the business development and public relations manager for the ARC.
Okay, I'm Susan Foster. I'm the assistant director at the Poe Center for Health Education in the Substance Use Prevention Department there. I'm a certified prevention specialist. On the commission, I am on the education chair, and I guess I've been on for over 2 years. Okay, lost track. But yeah, good to see everybody.
My last. Hey, everybody. My name is Demetrius Edwards. I work for the city of Raleigh. I'm in the Office of Equity and Inclusion, and I am your staff liaison. So if you have any questions or concerns, please let the board chair know and or myself so that I can try my best to be of assistance. But welcome and good morning. No, good afternoon.
Tracy, Deja, Tyra.
Hi, my name is Deja Deaver. I'm at the Office of Equity and Inclusion as well. Demetrius is my supervisor, so I help him out to help y'all out. So welcome.
All right.
Hello, I'm Tyra Banks. I work for the City of Raleigh in emergency communications. I'm also part of the city's strategic plan team that's focused on.
Can y'all hear me?
Hold on, Tracy.
The Safe, Vibrant, and Healthy Community Strategic Plan Initiative. So I'm here to just listen and provide any information I can to the initiative team to make sure the city is supporting you as much as it can.
Thank you. All right, Tracy.
Yeah, sorry about that. Looks like I'm having audio problems. Can y'all hear me okay now?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Tracy Freeman. I'm a person in long-term recovery, also a recovery coach and a certified peer support specialist. I currently work at Healing Transitions as the planning room supervisor. I work with women, homeless women who suffer from substance use disorder, and newly elected as the secretary. So y'all bear with me.
Okay. All right, great. And welcome to the new members and welcome to all those that, congratulations to all those that have taken, seems like everybody has joined the committee. Nicholas, have you joined the committee yet?
Yes, I'm on the communications, I believe.
Okay, cool. Wow. All right, so we're moving right along. Demetrius, what you got for us?
Hey, Nick, I think you're on outreach.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
I think so.
Yeah, you're right. I apologize. That was a, so yeah, I am. Sorry.
Okay.
No problem. Welcome everybody. Sorry, I have a triple monitor set up right now. I got my laptop and 2 monitors, so everyone is in between a different monitor right now. But hey, good morning. Good afternoon. So just thank you all for being here. The retreat, it was a great retreat. We was able to share and learn so much about, us as people, but also as professionals, and taking the substance use advisory commission just to another level, with everyone in despair and, just suffering, one way or another. It was just really helpful and refreshing to see where we're going to be going over the next 5 to 6 months as we look to strategically plan for that. We was able to talk about potentially all the boards and commissions coming together. We oversee 7 with our particular office coming together and do like a PPE and resource giveaway. So individuals can drive through and get said materials, whether it's literature, gloves, like whatever the committee and other boards and commissions are willing to donate and give. So thinking about planning that, and then also starting a substance use webinar series in which we're able to partner with Nicholas and his organization to provide those resources virtually, and figuring out how we can continue to work together. And I'm just so excited. Subcommittees were asked to meet before the next meeting, which is now, to figure out what are we going to be doing for the next 6 months. So I'm just excited. You have your full budget of $7,000 and you have access to Zoom. We have Zoom within the city, so you have access to Zoom for the virtual platform. So we are excited to figure out the next course of events between now and June and figure out how we can be of assistance and how we can get rock and rolling.
All right.
And then I also will allow any other commission members to provide an update if they want, like a couple of seconds update. I enjoyed myself just learning so much from all you smart and intelligent people. So I just enjoyed myself just to be a student.
So Ryan, anybody like to give a brief overview of the retreat, or what they thought, feedback, and how they felt the retreat went?
Sure. I agree. I think the retreat was really productive and kind of deciding where we wanted to focus our energy for the next 6 months. We kind of decided to put the pill drop-off, medication drop-off on hold. So to not do that in April, I think was a pretty we all kind of decided that. Those of you that weren't there, if you have any thoughts on that, otherwise, please let us know. And instead to try and focus on getting literature out about substance use through COVID testing sites. So using some funds, one that document needs to be developed, which I don't think that's been done. So we need to develop the document that we want to hand out and then decide what other kind of, lack of a better word, goodies we want to hand out with it. So if we want to spend some of our money to hand out a couple of masks in that packet with our, information sheet, if we want to, we could even do things like hand sanitizer. There's just lots of little things if we wanted to give a goodie bag attached to that information, maybe using some of our money for that. Because from what Demetrius told us, we have to spend our $7,000 before the end of June, which it's a bad problem to have to spend money, but that might be a way. The other thing is we learned from the city that other commissions have a similar goal. And so figuring out how we connect with those other commissions so that we're not each recreating the wheel, and also we can combine some of our monetary efforts. So I think that was a goal that we had kind of established, is figuring that out. And then I didn't speak as much to doing the webinar series. So I don't know if somebody else could speak to what we were kind of talking about with that.
Yeah, I can speak to that.
Okay, cool, thanks.
So one of the things we discussed about, and I don't think have since done much planning around, but would be very, would be easy to do financially, is maybe do some kind of reoccurring or regular webinar series, to educate people about treatment resources, substance use disorders, just some basic education, and maybe targeting those webinars to different populations each month or each week, something like that. And then also one of the other things I think that came up is using our commission's website, which I think is part of the Raleigh webpage, to maybe put some resources or use that, kind of leverage that website in some way to advocate for the work that we're doing and highlight some of the work we're doing, and also maybe provide resources for people in the city.
Okay. That all sounds great. Looking forward to it. Do we, let's see. So trying to think, where should we go from here? Did you all, so let's see if the committee's got a chance to sit down and talk. So starting with the education committee, did you all have anything necessary to report?
So I know I wasn't able to necessarily get everybody together per se for a formal meeting, but I do want to just check on who is actually in my committee. I know, Holly, again, what committee are you in again? Oh, you're on mute.
I'm on the communications committee.
Okay.
And I think if I remember correctly, I had volunteered to assist with RAC cards.
Great. And that's yeah, we got that sent. Thanks, Demetrius, for that. And then I'm going to butcher the first name. I have a member on here, Torres. Is that person here? Are they on a committee, or AR? I can't pronounce the first name, but y'all see the committee list. I just have a blank there, and I think it's a new person who's not on here today. But so my education committee is just myself and Elliott. Was there another person who was also on the education committee?
Yes, also Ricardo. So education committee is yourself, Elliott, and Ricardo. Outreach is Miss Lynn, Miss Tracy, and Nicholas. And communication is Holly, Joseph. Holly, Joshua, and Ryan.
Okay. All right. One of the things I'm going to put in the chat, a list of the Post Center programs for y'all to kind of look over. That I know in our budget, we had the last couple of years has set aside resources for those, which might fit into some of our commitment that Nicholas shared about doing some of the, offered up community programs. I know it can be a variety of mediums, whether it be a panel. The Post Center has an interactive online program. If you look at that link, you can see our under our youth culture series, and we do everything. It's more of a focus for parents and professionals. We do offer North Carolina substance use prevention. They've changed their name. The North Carolina board certification in substance use is, we get hours for that, so we can offer that up. If we often get a number of professionals that attend these trainings as well. And we're about to offer the series this spring online. So if you, in the past, when we've done that, we've had whichever one y'all choose to be connected to the commission, we just make sure in our media and push out that it is supported by, there's a certain terminology we have to avoid, not sponsored by, but something I can't remember, that connects that the commission is supporting this, and we push it out through the usual communication terms. So I think in the past we've done opioids 101 as part of that commitment, and adolescent brain development and addiction. So I just wanted y'all to have those to review. And I guess when we get down making decisions, you'll just have that as part of, and then in combination with all the great ideas that came up with doing some more online panels and more of a focus on treatment and some of the stuff that Nick talked about. Ours is more prevention based, of course, just more basic information to make sure families and communities have, a good foundation about these topics.
Susan, can you tell us, because I wasn't here, I think when we did that last time, what is our commitment when we commit to one of these programs? Is it monetary? Is it just the social, or just the push out of information? What do you all need from us to be sponsoring it? Or?
Yeah, that's a great question. In the past, in the most basic level, it was funding to offer that to the community. But hearing everybody talk about how we could make things come alive more online, we can certainly soup that up. The programs last 90 minutes. We certainly could retrofit something if we wanted to have more of our esteemed commission members be able to answer some questions after, or maybe bring in more of the treatment focus as well after they got some prevention information. So we can really craft it to what the board thinks would make use of that time, or we can just do what we usually do, is just offer the program. And again, this is all online. In the past, it's been in person, of course, but we can use our online tools to soup it up or shift it, or whatever version y'all would like is what we'd be up for. I hope that answers.
Yeah. And how much is usually the financial commitment?
I think it's $600 we usually do 3 programs. So I'll have to look back on the budget, but I think that sounds about right. Elliott, does that sound about right?
Yes.
So we also have new programs that we're offering that we did under COVID, which is a parent and child program, which I would love for the commission that might be a nice one to offer, kind of that family connection and it has been one of our more popular ones, but which is not on this list. But so yeah, it's really any of our programs now that we offer online could be a good fit. So just a matter of the education committee can kind of maybe can meet about that and suit that up any way y'all would like. But we'd be looking to do that in the spring before the deadline to spend that money before June.
Okay. And so also on that, if I can piggyback on that, one of the opportunities, Susan, that we want for us to think about is with our webinar series. Maybe partner with Poll Center on some of those viewings, you know, where we get, you know, partner with them and get on their schedule to do a viewing and have a panel afterwards or whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. This would be, I think, a nice complement to those. We have a nice variety of ways to educate, whether it be through movie and panel or through our programs or through something that Nick was kind of sharing more about that would be more focused on resources and treatment. So it'd be kind of fun to get our wish list together and make some decisions. And if we apply for board hours, which isn't very expensive, I think that can be an extra incentive for people to sign up and enroll. It certainly has been for us. And I know how to do that paperwork. I'm sure a number of y'all do. I'll be glad to take that on. So once we decide what we want to do and get an outline.
Okay, thank you. The Communications Committee, interested to see what's going on with you all.
We also did not meet, but basically so I have found several websites that have links of very up-to-date testing sites for COVID. So that is constantly updated. So we have great resources for that. So when we decide when and how we're going to do that, that job has already been done for us. So we don't need to search those out. So that I have those. I can send them to you if you want through email, but there's plenty of them in various parts of town. So we may want to think about where we feel like our resources will be best used, if there's parts of town that might benefit from it more than others. And then additionally, I think I'm really still not clear on how to contact the other commissions about what they're doing. And so I think the staff has to get that information to us. And I can write an email to them this week, if I can just get some email addresses and just tell them what we're thinking as a commission and find out what they're doing. And that way we can try and combine our efforts with them. And so that's sort of where we are at this point.
Okay, so Demetrius will be who you would talk to. So go ahead, Demetrius.
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, ma'am. We can provide you the emails. Also, we've just been swamped, to be completely transparent. It's 8 of us, but we're responsible for 5,000 City of Raleigh employees plus the entire city of Raleigh. So we're a little behind right now, just trying to keep up. But we are trying to plan a meeting in which all the board and commissions can come together, like the executive team of the boards can come together and share out. So we're actually working on the email and trying to figure out the best date to kind of grab everyone and bring everybody together for like an hour just to report out and figure out how we can start working together. Because as your staff liaisons, we see everything and we know everything that's going on, and we're trying to connect the dots. But it is so hard to connect the dots when we are serving, I think, nearly 7 or 75 boards and commissioners, and it's only 8 of us. So we're trying our best to keep up. But yes.
When do you think we could expect that? I'm not holding you to a date, but like in the next 2 weeks, in the next month, what do you?
Our goal is to get an email out this week.
Okay.
So our goal is to get something out this week so that we can start moving the 8 ball. At least we will know the date so that everyone can be prepared to come together and start to share out. So we're going to provide, I think, 1 or 2 dates, something so that everyone can be there if possible.
Do we want to just kind of have, 2 or 3 people from our committee kind of commit to being to that meeting? I don't necessarily know if, of course anybody could, but, I don't necessarily know if we all had to go.
No, everyone does not all have to go. We were literally leaning on the executive leadership team of each board and commission. And then if you wanted to designate one other person just to come so that we won't have like a meeting of 80 people, try to keep it small and intimate. But I would definitely get that information out to you as soon as possible.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Okay. Demetrius, I remiss on our protocol, but I noticed we have some visitors. And I want to recognize them, let them introduce themselves, and I think we have a question or two.
No problem. Vote on approving the minutes while I allow them to speak. Can you all vote on the minutes from October the 8th?
Okay. I don't have them in front of me, but you all have had your emails with your minutes from the previous meeting, from the October meeting. All in favor of accepting the minutes? Raise your hand. Aye. Okay. Any opposed? Okay, so move. We accept the minutes. All right. So if can the attendees are we able to hear them?
Yes, we have one coming on the line right now. Okay. Donna Lee.
Hi, I don't know if you can just hear me or see me. Is it just you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
But you can't see me, right?
Great.
Right.
Okay. I am dialing in because I lost my son to an opiate and Xanax overdose, along with 4 other friends also passed. So we're coming up on the anniversary here of when they all passed away. And one graduated from Broughton High School, a couple of them graduated from Leesville High School, and then one from Sanderson. And I travel and speak around Eastern North Carolina about the opiate and Xanax issues. And so I'm just wondering how your group connects in with the state-funded groups and with Josh Stein and his groups and his task force groups, because I usually speak with them and connect with them. And the 3 guys that were pushing drugs on my son are now in jail. It was pretty big news in January of 2018. So the 3 guys are now in jail, and 2 are actually doing a 7-year sentence and 1 is on house arrest. And when I go to speak at the high schools, I talk to the kids about, the issues, what to look for if your friend's overdosing. I talk about the death gurgle. So I don't really hide any of the nasty details of overdosing. So in just what I've heard in this meeting, I'm just kind of wondering how this trickles down to real people and hands-on. I'm familiar with the Post Center. I've actually spoken at a church event with one of the ladies from the Post Center. But my bigger concern is just how this gets down to, kids. I mean, the kids that are abusing and using, and I don't see an agenda online, and so I wasn't able to really get an idea of what your long-term goals are. So that's kind of why I'm dialing in.
Okay. Well, Jonna, welcome and thank you. Before I respond, there are a couple others that are dialed in or online. Diana Ray. You could just briefly introduce yourself, and you're on mute, Diana.
She might not want to speak. Donna Lee was the one that had her hand raised.
Hold on, she unmuted.
Hey, I'm sorry. 1 moment. I had to call in on my phone because my audio wasn't working. My name is Diana Ray. I work with Alliance, the Wake County LME. I'm also an LCSW, and I was just curious about what this committee does. Thank you for letting me come.
Okay, thank you for being here. So, John, in response to your question, how does this trickle down? So, as you see, we have an array of commission members from different organizations and agencies throughout our city, and all involved in some way in prevention and treatment of substance use, or just being an ally for recovery. So we as a commission, we come up with, we are tasked with directing the city of Raleigh's efforts at prevention and treatment to serve all the citizens. So as you heard, we have planned things such as webinars, viewing of recovery films, promoting and facilitating public viewings to bring about more awareness of the issue. Also activities such as getting the literature out and conducting, where our plans are getting the literature out at some of these COVID testing sites, addressing the substance use and prevention and recovery efforts. And one of our big pushes is usually the medication drop-off pill take-back. So what we're tasked with is meeting with citizens, meeting with people in Raleigh, and promoting and facilitating treatment and recovery programs, and getting the information out to everyone of the resources available here at our city. And that's mainly where we are, and that's where it touches the general public. And we're here to serve all the citizens of Raleigh and in those efforts. I hope that kind of answers your question. We'd love, thank you for attending. We'd love for you to continue attending and giving us feedback. And I don't know, have I missed anything, anybody?
I think one of the things that we talked about during the retreat was the idea of coming up with a focus for each year, which like a theme for the year. And we all sort of thought, correct me if I'm wrong, please. But I came away feeling like we were going to spend the next 6 months, because we were sort of hampered the first 6 months by COVID, but using our resources to respond to substance use during COVID, because this is such a pertinent issue right now. And we all agreed pretty understood, not understood well, and there weren't a lot of other people dealing with that right now. And so we thought that response could be helped most directly through COVID testing, making sure we get PPE into the hands of people that don't have it, which a lot of times is substance users. And we thought those tied in pretty well for the next 6 months. What we decide for the next theme, I guess, would be decided sometime in the summer for the next fiscal year. And then maybe that could be something more like we really focus our ideas in putting our efforts into schools like Jonah talked about, or whatever our themes were. But that was something we kind of felt like we needed a focus each year so that we don't spread ourselves too thin or not be really effective at one thing.
Okay, great. And just to let you know, Ryan, we will be having another retreat in the spring. That's usually when we used to have one annual retreat, but due to COVID, we weren't able to have that this year. So that was the reason for the retreat last week. But we will be having another one to plan for the whole year. Okay. So we stopped off with the Communications Outreach Commission. Outreach, do we have any brief report from Outreach?
Okay, hi everybody, my name is Lynn, and we did not meet. I dropped the ball on that with Tracy and Nick. However, as far as outreach, we have continued to come up with ideas and suggestions for locations that we can do things. Tracy has spoken with her executive director, and he has agreed to allow us to use either one of those campuses, which is Healing Transitions, for an event. And we also had previously discussed, you know, the PPE and getting information out. I did speak with Curtis in regards to the Talk It Out campaign and being on the webinar. He has agreed to do that, and we can do it in English and in Spanish, and also including informational pamphlets for resources that we can give out as well. So we're just kind of there and wait until we come up with a date and decide on a place so that we can go ahead and get started.
Okay. So maybe outreach can come up with some tentative dates and the place, and next meeting come back to us so we'll have something to vote on.
Okay.
Okay.
And just clarify, so is the dates to set up being able to pass out PPE, or is it for programming?
It would be PPE, informational pamphlets. That was one of the things that we said we would supply as well.
So is it kind of the drive-by scenario that we were talking
yes,
about?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
That's just.
And I did want to ask, so there was a huge food giveaway the last couple of weeks, and it was sponsored by some folks from the city of Raleigh. So I think that the meeting between the commissions would be very good, because there were some commissions on that panel of sponsors. And so there are already people doing things that we are talking about doing. So getting with them and not, you know, we're not competing. We're all trying to get to the same goal. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Susan. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. I had a chance to, one of our community partners is 4-H with us, which is with the county. And they had been working with, I guess, the more with the counties around a number of hunting down young people that have been missing school. And they were trying to get information out to those kids to help re-engage them and resources, you know, finding out they don't have a laptop or Wi-Fi, that kind of thing. And it may be, Lynn, connected to what you're saying. It could have been like a combo event, but I didn't have as much details. But I know this Saturday they're doing at Raleigh Millbrook and at Pine Acres Community Center, they're doing one of those kind of drive-by community kind of things. So you're right. I think we can either create our own or piggyback on a number of these kind of resources that are trying to reach vulnerable populations in our community. And I've got just enough information to be dangerous, not enough to do anything, to plan anything. And I'm hoping to gather some more from my contact that I got just this week. So
okay.
I think it'd be great if we could attach, like you're saying. I think we have a lot we could help offer.
Yeah, there were several civic organizations, but there was also the city of Raleigh, Wake County Health Department, Wake County School System. But there were a lot of people that I felt like, you know, we could, and we would be able to reach an abundance, you know, that would include the adolescents, but it would also include the adults and would also include our underserved communities.
Yeah,
so.
and as I said, the Post Center can offer up a number of lock boxes and the medicine disposal bags as part of some of our resources. So we're looking for those opportunities anyway.
Yes.
So again, so people in the community don't have to ride around all over the place. It's great that we can attach ourselves to these things.
Right, and almost create like a one-stop shop, because we know people are going to come and get food. We know that. And just being able to give them the other things, they might not come looking for it, but to put it in their hands, the resources, if they need help with substance use, if they need help with mental health, you know, getting those resources in their hand is a plus.
So do we have those resources already gathered to be able to put them into a document, or is this something that needs to be created? Really, it probably needs to be created in the next couple of weeks, so that we maybe starting in January, we can just start plugging into those groups.
Well, what we could do is, I mean, I have several of the resources. I'm sure Tracy and Nicholas also have several resources, and we can just create a list. And if anybody has anything else to go on that list, maybe it could be like a Google Doc where we could just add on, you know, everybody can go in and add on. But we also did talk about keeping it like a one-sheeter. Okay, so, and then that way maybe we could do English on one side and Spanish on the other side.
Great idea.
Okay.
And also, I don't know if you all are aware, a lot of the information and stuff we have is held by Susan and the Education Committee. So some of those things we need to do in our outreach efforts, you all need literature, you need pamphlets, information. So we have a chest or whatnot, and Susan has that. The Education Committee keeps that.
Yeah, we do. We're kind of moving a little bit away from the written pamphlet because a lot can be gotten online, but we do have still bulk of things which we provided for health fairs in the past. And certainly if there's something like Lynn is saying, developing something that we know is, you know, really useful and timely, that we certainly can whip it up at the Post Center or whatever y'all need and have it be reviewed. And that's what we kind of do in education. So, and
yeah. Susan, let me ask you this. Would the Post Center be a resource for us to use for a drive-by?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a nice bus lane, circular,
right,
good setup for that kind of thing.
Okay.
So, absolutely. I like the idea of attaching to the food and things that make it easier for people to come out. But if y'all definitely, if we wanted to create our own site, I'm sure the Post Center would be excited to be asked. And we're in Southeast Raleigh, which I think is, I know that we certainly want to serve our community. We have that as a special focus, so.
If I may ask commissioners, I think it's a great idea if you can create a document just for the board, for the commission itself, and have front side English and back side Spanish, like Ms. Moon was saying. But specifically for this board, I know you have a RAT card that's in the product that can be voted on and can be printed, but having a specific document for yourself so that you can, like, hey, for more information, click on our website. And if you have a couple of links that you want to include on the website, you know, that can be something. I'm looking at Deja because she might hit me right now, but that's something we can possibly put on your website. Hey, for more information about resources, if you want, you know, whatever resources you need, like, hey, we got 4 listed on our website, you can click on to get more information about. But something that you can pass out besides just a RAT card, but something with your name on it that would be beneficial. And if you have a draft or something, I can take it to communications and they can really help with that City of Raleigh branding. You know, it takes them about a week or so to get back, a week or 2 to get back. But if it's everything done, I could try to get that done quickly so that we can get it to print and we can get things rocking and rolling.
Okay.
So I'll get in touch with you, Demetrius, to set up that document. And then we can get it out to everybody to add to it. I can put the basics on there.
Yeah, and include our website.
Right.
And information on the rack cards.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Demetrius, you sent the rack card to me, and just a couple of other, who was other people? We had Holly, and is that ready? Does the rest of the team need to kind of give a thumbs up to that so we can get that printed and have that ready to be a part of the spring activities? Or what was your, I'm not sure what your.
Yes, just looking over the information, present it to the board. If they love it, you know, we can vote on it. Say, hey, I want to designate said amount to print. Like say, hey, I want to print, you know, 100 copies or 200 copies, and I can provide you with a quote, and we can go from there to get it printed. Okay. We have a local printer shop that we use downtown, so that can just be printed.
Awesome. Do we want to, I just looked over it. I mean, there's not a lot to look at, you know, it's a pretty basic foundation card. Do we want to share that with everybody else, and then everybody can give feedback soon, or maybe today, and we can.
Yeah, I mean, that is doable. If you want to send it out to everyone, say, hey, you can do a preliminary vote. Say upon voting for approval, I move to print 200 copies of the rack card, so that when we're starting to do an event, so if there's an event next week, at least we have something to contribute to the event.
Okay, so can I jump in and kind of shorten this for us?
Yes.
Because Susan, well, I think Susan's one of the only ones that's been here, and Lynn. The rack card is something we voted on in the past already. Getting those rack cards, we just been waiting for them. So I would think our task now would be how many, and that, so we can give Demetrius to go ahead or whatnot to go ahead, how many to print.
Yeah.
Because this is one of those things we voted on in the past to get rack cards, and we voted approved. Now it's happening. Okay,
yeah,
so how many
looks fine to me. I was, and yeah. So this email address down here would kind of go to you, Demetrius, or someone in your office, right? To be able to, you know.
It's the one for the office, just the office email.
Is there a website that also could be put on here? That's the only thing I was thinking, since we wanted to direct. Just the government website, just the Raleigh. That's good enough, right? They'll find us easy enough.
Shouldn't it go to the substance use advisory page?
It can, if it's hyperlink available, it can, but just the website for you all is just long within itself. But we can try to make it work.
Yeah, if it can be made easier. I mean, I haven't really tried to find us through this in a while. So other than that, I'm with Elliott. I think y'all done a great job. It looks nice, and it is just a foundation material, and then we can set our sights on doing what Lynn was saying, making that more intensive information card. But I guess not everybody's seen it. I don't have everybody's email like and easy to send out. If Demetrius, if you have that, if you want to send it, if people.
Yes, I can resend it to everyone. Right after this meeting, I'll resend it out.
Awesome.
Okay. And so on that link, Demetrius, you said, you know, if we put up all this information, we want the link to go to our page where the people can go directly to the information. Because if we just send them to the city of Raleigh, then you can go pay water bills, go all kind of stuff you get lost in before you find the information you need from the Substance Use Advisory Commission.
Yeah, user friendly. I agree.
Okay, and yeah, Deja.
Hello. I see what you guys are saying about the website. My only thing, hopefully you guys don't change you guys changed your name. So I'm just thinking about previously, if we would have had that on stuff and it changed your name, it will like broken link. So that's why we know the RaleighNC.gov is not changing. The city is actually going to be changing their format, their website again in the next year. I don't think your name will change as far as a hyperlink, but I think that's something to maybe think about as to why we put just RaleighNC.gov on most city branding. It's because some of the the back codes of the web page might change if you change your name, or if there's a service page versus a different type of page, it might change the link to it. And I would just hate if that were to happen. I'm not saying it will, but just hypothetically speaking, if it did, or if somehow y'all got your name changed to something else similar, or added on another piece to it, and then go back and get all new rack cards, all new this and that. But that's just just something to think about.
And I see your point there. I'm just saying what we're doing, we're targeting the next 6 months and the COVID. So I don't think any of my stuff is going to change in that time. I don't believe. But it's up, you know, whatever you all think is best. That's why you're our liaisons or advisors or whatnot. But yeah, if we want to tell people, here's where you get the information, I like to send them best we can. Maybe we add a link on there other than just City of Raleigh. Add another link for resources. Here's the link, boom, and then go straight to it. Because if we think about everybody in the city that we're going to be giving information to isn't technology friendly, so we want to make it as simple as possible. Let's see. So, okay, you all want to think of how many do we want to get printed? So how many for him to get a number for? And if we're talking about having events where we're partnering up with food giveaways and whatnot, it's going to be a lot of people. So I'm guessing we at least need to try to see how much it would cost us to get 500.
At least.
That was the number I was thinking too, Elliott.
Right. And I would I'd be open to making a motion that we get 500 printed. That's at least enough to get us started. How long does it take us to get more, Demetrius, if we needed more? If we realized after our first event that we gave out 400?
It just depends on the print and
Okay.
and you voting. So if you vote and say, hey, I need more, then that's a simple putting in a request to the print shop.
Okay.
And also making sure Deja can help with that as well, because she holds the pocketbook, the wallet for the entire department. So you have to play nice with Deja. So,
I'm nice to Deja.
Deja, did I tell you how nice your hair was looking today? Okay, so Lynn, you had a motion.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we purchase 500 of the rack cards upon approval of the language or everything.
I second that.
Okay, so wait a minute before we say that, because that's has two things in that motion. You said upon approval of the language. Approval by whom?
Aren't we all supposed to be? Demetrius just sent it out. Aren't all of us supposed to be looking over it and saying we agree with it? Or is that none of our business?
No, I think we are.
Yeah, I thought, okay, yeah.
So how is that approval supposed to be given?
I guess we're supposed to email back and say that we agree with it. Is that correct?
Yeah, or you can just look at it right now. We have 5 minutes. So if you want to look at it real quick, it's in your email. It's front and back, a couple of words.
It may just be my computer, but the printing of it's a little weird. Does anybody else see it that way?
Yeah, it needs to be reformatted, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what we can do is we can start an email thread using the using the education department. Subcommittee. So once we get the final document, if you want to agree to vote on it, we can get the final draft submitted. And if everyone can vote on it, we can get it rocking and rolling.
Okay, so I'm trying to see, what does everybody see wrong?
Might be how you opened it too.
Yeah, let me try something else.
Mine looks fine.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. It may just be whatever. I opened it in Google Docs, so maybe it was written in a different.
It was a Word document.
Software. Okay, maybe that's it.
So
the only little cost
human relations at RaleighNC.gov. I don't see a website.
Oh, okay.
I don't see other than the www.RaleighNC.gov. Could we add a link somewhere to go directly for information, for resources and information on substance use, prevention and treatment? Go to and then have a link going straight to that. Would that be possible, Deja, or you think that's not a good idea either?
It's up to you guys. I was just giving a suggestion just to think about if you guys name were to change. I mean, you guys can do whatever you guys want to. I was just throwing it out there, but we can if you guys vote on it.
I kind of support Elliott's thought of, I think for this spring, I think we're safe. And then we might want to revisit as we make another order in the future. I think for now, making it easy for people, I gotta say, I've raised my hand for that one to make sure they go directly and not get lost.
And I agree with that. And one other thing I would, instead of us putting the address for our meeting, I don't see us meeting in person during this period. So could we do our Zoom address instead of the physical address?
Or just add it in addition to?
Yeah, I think something reflecting where we actually are, how people could visit us during COVID, I think that would be worth.
Yeah, my suggestion was to add in open to the public somewhere on there, all meetings open to the public. And then like you were saying, like have some sort of instructing them how they can link into our meetings.
Okay, I'm trying to keep up with everyone's recommendation, but I probably got about 20 in my head. I'm trying to edit right now. If you just want to see like a brief, like a bullet point, and then I will work with Susan and the education team to get it completed. I'm trying to edit it as we're speaking, but it's impossible right now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
And yeah, Demetrius, I guess maybe we can set up a time in Holly. Was there someone else that also was interested? And we can, I know time's running out. We can maybe just do a little touch base.
Yes.
But thank y'all. I appreciate all the people in the past that got us going on this, and everybody keeping hope alive. We can have rat cards.
Okay, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so can we make a motion on just the number of cards, Lynn?
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we purchase 500 cards.
All in favor?
We need a second.
Okay, do somebody second it? Okay, Ryan seconded. Okay, all right, cool. Anything else from our liaison? I know we're right at 1 o'clock, so. No, okay. We got one more committee. What committee? What was it? Education, outreach, communication.
I can report on our treasurer. Our treasurer has $7,000.
Okay, all right, okay.
And we haven't spent any money yet.
Okay.
So we have enough money to buy the rat cards.
All right, great. Mm-hmm. So happy. Do we have a motion? Well, happy holidays to everybody.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe and look.
Thank you for attending, Diana.
Yes.
And please join us again.
Thank you for letting me be here.
All right. And look forward to seeing everybody. Wow, I ain't got to see y'all till next year.
Bye, 2020.
All right. Anything from anybody before we go? Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second.
There we go. Okay, all right. Meeting is adjourned. Everybody, happy holidays.
Thank you. Bye-bye.